The folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New Orleans Saints and the Cleveland Browns. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Anthony Schwartz going to bring it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They run it again with Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Browns at 4-10 now on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. And some room to work. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a first down throw. Watson firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Watson now to throw. That's going to be taken in by Felton. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield but what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Faking the give. Now Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Ready, set.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
To throw, Huntley. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kamara. And unable to connect. Incomplete. They'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. The Browns drive about to get started as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. And Chubb will try the middle here. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed them. So now it brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
Watson on 3rd down.
That one caught by Felton. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Up the middle they go. Felton. And he's got room. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished. Just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Chubb will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play. Just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Huntley to throw. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
Okay, ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Panther 50, Panther 50.
Here's Huntley. A throw over the middle, taken in by Troutman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Running the jet sweep, Landry. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Huntley. Open man is Michael Thomas. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. First grab for Thomas. It's good for a 1st down as well.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Throwing on 3rd and long. Huntley. And this is going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. This one from 46 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Hey, you got to snap it. You got to snap it.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
On 1st and 10, Watson. A quick reaction as he catches it off the tip. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Second down at 4. Now a handoff up the middle. Felton. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Third and 2, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is going to have the Browns first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
24!
To throw is Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Good set.
Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, it's Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll run with Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. The York on now for the extra point. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Come on.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Blake Gillikin now. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Browns drive about to get started. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Off play action. Huntley. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now it's Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Harrison Bryant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. York now for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded right around the 8. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Huntley. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, Huntley. Over the middle, into the hands of Michael Thomas. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns 16. A good pickup there at 22.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Huntley. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he's brought down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Saints get a bit closer.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Lutt's good on the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. I know they're down, but starting the 3rd quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Marcus Davenport brought him down, the UTSA product.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
Watson's throw taken in by Grant. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
Good call there on 1st down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years of not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wound up picking up positive yardage.
And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. Browns on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down, and the Saints will have the football back.
Panther 11.
Throwing to start the drive. Huntley, his throw incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Back to throw. Huntley, they'll get this out to Kamara. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
19 tight.
To throw on 3rd down. Huntley. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here.
All right, zero rooting interest in it, but that one hurt.
Well, yeah, you're losing in the 4th quarter. A bad time for a fumble on a punt return.
They had an opportunity. All right, they were sensing. They're down on the scoreboard, and now they just gave that one up.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Third down, it's Nick Chubb. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. Watson now to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Now Landry. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Huntley. That is called in by Michael Thomas. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. On 1st and 10, Huntley. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment and shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Here's a carry for the fullback. This is Andy Janovich. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Up the middle they go. Felton only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. They give to Chubb out of the gun. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. York able to send this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Ready, get.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Now Huntley.
He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here's Huntley.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by John Johnson. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, there's a time and a place for everything. Down 2 scores late in the 4th. I get it. Now is the time to throw it downfield, but that one might just write an end to this ball game.
Yeah, I hear all the time how critical I am of play calls. Not in this situation. No other choice, really. Look at the clock. Look at the scoreboard. Had to press it and take a chance.
What is that?
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb.
And some space here. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Nick Chubb, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Okay, ready?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
101 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8. middle. It's Chubb. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business.